YTHPC. It's Taylor.
And Rooster.
And we are back for the spring. It's sunny. It's fun. I'm pumped to be here.
Me too.
Oh, bless the sun in the sky. I'm so glad it's this time of year again.
Me too. Great weather this week. Sun out. Can't complain.
Very excited. So this week we are playing... Rooster, what's the name of this game?
This week we're doing a chicken run.
Chicken showdown. Chicken run like the movie?
Chicken taste test.
Chicken run, chicken showdown.
Rooster's Chicken Challenge.
Rooster's Chicken Challenge. That's what this is. I love it. We're going to be trying 3 chicken sandwiches from 3 different places. Rooster, where are the places?
We got Mac Shack, McDonald's. We got KFC, the Colonel, and we have the classic chicken sandwich.
ChickfilA. I'm really excited for this. So we're gonna do this blindfolded. So it's completely anonymous because let's be real, we all know what a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich looks like.
It's got that look.
It's got the look. It's classic in that way. And to preserve the integrity of these sandwiches, no sauce.
That's right.
No sauce.
Sauceless.
So it's purely the sandwich, which I feel like is gonna be a game changer.
I think you're right.
Sauceless in Seattle.
That's right.
Sauceless in Seattle.
Hey, if you know the movie we're talking about,
send us an email and we're gonna come up with a prize for that.
Yeah, we'll get you something good.
Something good. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. Send me an idea of what you want in the email. How about that too? Ooh, maybe we can make it happen. Rooster, you ready to get into this?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Let's
blindfold
do it.
me.
I'm real ready. Let's go. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna open this up and see what's on it.
Wait, let's smell
I
it.
can't see.
Smell it.
Oh, I hit my water.
I
already know where this is from.
I feel like I know exactly where this is from. Okay, you ready? I'm
Cheers.
so scared. Cheers, wherever you are.
Yeah, I dinked it.
Oh yeah, you know this sandwich when you eat it.
Very soft. Easy to eat.
Mine's got a little crunch to it, which I appreciate. My pieces
Mine
are a little
has
crispy.
almost no crunch to it, which is pretty typical, I think, in these type of sandwiches.
Yeah? Oh, mine's got a good, I got some good crisp. You know what, though? I normally don't get pickles on my chicken sandwiches. So I didn't think about that.
I like the pickle because we're doing no sauce. I also just like pickles in general.
That's a good sandwich. That's a good sandwich, even with no sauce.
That's such a big bite.
Is he taking big bites right now? I can't see anything. Oh. You see, I don't want to finish the whole sandwich because I want to be able to eat the other ones.
Oh, I don't know I'm going to be able to.
I have a tiny tummy.
Tummy.
I'm Taylor. I have a tiny tummy. Ooh, I feel this one in front of me. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. This bun is different. This bun is different.
This bun is different. It's got a,
It's got like a divot in it.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a pretzel.
Is it a brioche bun?
I don't think this is what makes a brioche bun a brioche bun. Which side do I want? This side has the crispy tail on it, so I think I'm gonna eat here. What's funny is you said and I made a face. I don't like that.
It's very different.
That is not pleasant. I don't think I like that. Ew. It's a little too
Is there
mushy
anything on this?
It's a little mushy for me. And I feel like when I bit into the chicken, all I tasted was pickle. And maybe I should take another bite to know.
Okay. You get a little crunch. Actually,
I feel like
a lot more crunch than the other one.
I don't taste the chicken.
It's kind of bland.
I taste bread and pickle. Right?
Yeah. It's not a lot of flavor
Wait, I need to...
or texture, really.
I'm trying to find the chicken. There's chicken in here.
Yeah.
There's chicken in here, but I don't taste it. Wait.
Just isolate the chicken.
This is a good idea.
I'm getting this crunch, but
I'm getting mush.
there's not really.
Oh, I don't like that. That's a hard no for me.
There's not really flavor.
That's a hard no. No, thank you. Never buying one of those again. Yeah, that chicken's not great. Oh, this one is big. This is hefty.
This bun is already different too.
But just the sandwich is hefty. Oh, and there's some crunch on it. I'm gonna just eat some skin. Oh God. That's good skin. That's good chicken. I
That's
love
good skin.
I love chicken skin. Like, the best part of like fried chicken is the skin.
The crispy skin.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Oh no, that's so bomb. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Oh my gosh. That's the one. Look, y'all, when they say you know, I know.
I'm gonna sit here and finish this whole thing.
I'm so full. But that was so good. I wish I had been first.
The flavor of this,
Oh my god.
I can actually taste like the
Spice.
seasonings.
Yeah. The chicken skin is so good.
There's already like some sort of sauce on this.
I just got a bit of a taste of it.
So would you say that you guys are in Flavor Town right now?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
this
in
is
Flavor Town.
This is Flavor Town. Wait. No, it's pickle juice. Okay, let me do Okay. Oh, wait, more chicken skin. Oh, there totally is sauce on this. Oh, wow. I just sunk into my chair a little bit. I'm 26. I still got some time to figure it
This
out.
sandwich,
This is so good.
go get this sandwich.
This is so good. I think we can take our blindfolds off. I think we know who won,
Okay,
right?
You're right, yeah.
Okay, I think we can guess where these came from.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously the first one
First
was
one.
ChickfilA. We
Yep.
knew, we both smelt it and we knew, which I think that's a good thing. That means ChickfilA has really good, like, branding, marketing. Like, it is what it is, you know?
It is what it is.
Like, you know it,
Absolutely.
you know?
Even by the smell, you know what it is.
Yeah,
Number 2, I'm gonna guess McDonald's.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like that makes sense that it'd be McDonald's because it's probably the cheapest, too. No offense to McDonald's.
Sorry, McDonald's.
Just
Stick to Big
stick to
Macs.
your burger. Stick to
Yeah.
your burger. No, stick to your fries. Honestly,
fries?
The fries at McDonald's, best part of McDonald's.
Absolutely.
I have to burp.
It's the chicken burp. Which
me.
burp is the most flavorful ones? But
This.
this one, as you can tell, I've already done most of the damage to it.
I'm taking another bite right now. Like I don't
This
even
sandwich, you need to go get this sandwich. Okay. It's like pickled cucumbers, not pickles.
care. And there's sauce. There's like mayonnaise on it
Yeah,
and stuff.
you don't even need that extra Chick-fil-A sauce, you know, like you do on the Chick-fil-A sandwich or like Big Mac sauce on your chicken sandwiches from McDonald's. This already comes with sauce.
This is bomb. Risha, let's ask you this. Customer service.
Okay, so I was the one who went to go get the sandwiches today.
Thank you to Rooster.
Hands down, best customer service. Had the worst sandwich.
That's fascinating. Rooster, why was it the best customer service though?
I personally think the best customer service gets you in, gets you what you want, and gets you out. I was held up at Chick-fil-A for quite a long time, and when it came to KFC,
You were held up for a really long time too.
and I was the only one there,
But
the sandwich
yes,
was well worth it.
that's what I'm saying. I was like, McDonald's may have been fast, but the quality, not great. KFC took a long time, but bro,
The
your
best
sandwich
sandwich.
is like gone.
Yeah. Go get this sandwich.
That means slow and steady wins the race. It's all about how you steward. We could talk about that parable. We don't need to get into that now, but we really could talk about the parable. I
So it's just like
literally
that.
have so many burps in
I'm
my
gonna keep
tummy.
eating this.
Just have burps in me, and I know the mics are gonna pick up my burps. You're not even worried, are you?
It's perfectly natural to burp.
I feel
burps.
like I want to ask you a question about the sandwich. If you had to describe that chicken sandwich as a vacation, what type of vacation would that sandwich be?
This is a southern vacation. You're going to Nashville, and you're meeting Dolly Parton. I love the hanging pickle.
Holy cow! Wow, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking good. Clean plate club.
Clean Plate Club.
Honestly, you have to say it.
No, it was just the best sandwich. It really was. There's no comparison.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, are you mixing it up?
Yeah. So
You're
I'm doing McDonald's bun,
Chick-fil-A's chicken.
Chick-fil-A chicken.
Is it better?
It's better. The bread is still pretty bad, but
The bread on the McDonald's, it's just like, it's like soggy and wet. Let's try this. Let's try McDonald's chicken. Chick-fil-A bun.
that might work.
Now, what vacation does that have?
What's that vacation?
Bro, that's not a vacation. We have to make up school days at the end of the year.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing but disappointment, bro. I was nothing but straight disappointment. You know that. You know what I'm talking about, right? When you think that you're done with school, and then because of snow days or whatever else happened, it's like, I'm supposed to get out of school on June 10th. Now it's June 15th, and you're sad. That's what that sandwich tasted like. I put the Chick-fil-A back together. Rooster, we know our chicken. We love our chicken.
I love my chicken.
I love my chicken. You know what else I love?
What?
Learning about Jesus.
Me too.
I love learning about Jesus, and I love interacting with our leaders. And so we're actually going to transition now into our message for this week. We are continuing in our mental health series. And this week I sit down with a couple of our rock leaders, Micah and Ella, to have a conversation about depression, their journeys with it, and what it's looked like for them to walk with God through that and trust God with that as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. Hey, Rock students. So we are back. As I said earlier with Rooster, we are back for week 2 of our mental health series and what does it look like to seek God in the middle of mental health. And so this week I am here with 2 of your leaders, Micah and Ella, to talk a little bit about depression and what does it look like to walk through depression and our faith at the same time. Like, what does it look like to walk with God through those things? What has Micah and Ella's experiences with depression looked like? And again, maybe in your life, you haven't personally experienced depression or it's not a part of your story. Remember that this is an opportunity to sit and listen and learn, and also learn how to love your neighbors well, learn how to love the people in your small group well. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. How would you describe depression? Like, what does depression look like for you in your life? And what was that journey like for you to recognize that was something that you were battling with, struggling with, whatever vocabulary you want to use? And how have you kind of started to navigate it since then?
I think for me and my experience, I think there's a big difference. I think there's a difference between sadness and depression. I think those can be experienced pretty similarly, but I think the understanding that sadness is a response to something that happened to you, something that you're experiencing in your life, and it is it's a very understandable response that you experience things with it. And I think depression, well, there can be things that spur on depression. Depression's a longer lived experience than just sadness. And usually it can manifest even though there's not something triggering it. So for example, I could be really sad. I got an F on a math test, and I could be sad about that. But I wouldn't say I would experience depression from that, because most likely I'll probably get over that at some point. But for me, if I experience something, which it could be a trigger, something like loneliness or not feeling like I fit in or have a place, that's a thing that there isn't specific triggers that happen that, but it's an emotion that I feel and it's experience of like, I personally experience apathy towards myself when I'm experiencing depression. So apathy is the lack of care for myself during that. So that's kind of like how I experience depression and kind of like how I think about it. What about you, Ella?
Yeah, so apathy is a big one. My history with depression has always been depression and mental illness runs in my family very, very strongly. That mixed with some bad things that happened to me growing up resulted in a lot of different mental illness issues. And depression is the main thing that I experience. And I think what Micah mentioned about it being, different from an emotion is very important. It's an illness. And I mean, some people experience to very different degrees than others. Like by diagnosed, I am considered disabled to the severity that I have it. I have a disability because it paralyzes me, my entire body. I was diagnosed with depression when I was like 12 or 13, but I had been experiencing that for much longer before that. And like it is very much an emotional thing where I'm sad, but like Micah, I also don't experience anything. I'm apathetic. I don't see and it comes and goes. Like, yeah, it affects my mood, but it also is very, very physical for me too. So when I'm depressed, I stay in bed for 15 hours a day. I can't get up. I'm sad, but but I feel sick to my stomach.
I think I totally get where you're coming from, Ella, and what you're trying to say. Obviously different, but similar, probably in some ways. When I first started college, I went through like a 3-month space of like, I had like really bad depression. And it was like one of those things of like, Micah, I think it's really good what you're saying of, it's more than just being sad. Like, I think some people go like, oh, like, you're just sad, like it's fine, just get over it. But it's this debilitating feeling of, I wake up in the morning, nothing has even happened yet. And I just want to lay there. I'm not motivated to do anything. I feel numb. And it's this internal conflict of, I know I need to get up. I know I need to go to class. I know I need to show up and I need to be present for people. But right now, like, I don't have the energy. I don't have the strength. I don't have the motivation. It's the complete apathy of, I understand mentally I should be getting up and doing these things, but everything else in me is like, so?
Yeah, that's I resonate with that. Nothing matters. And
it feels like it should, but it doesn't.
Yeah. Just nothing matters. Micah, I'm sorry, you had your hand raised. Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think like something that you experience, Ella, that I wouldn't say I experience is the clinical part of like depression, where I've experienced like some harder life experiences of like mainly when my like longest season of depression was in middle school for about 2 years, with struggling with feeling like I fit in, struggling and not knowing like who I was and how I interacted with others and not feeling like I had a place in there. And so I struggled like a lot with just like a lot of insecurities. And that was like a lot of the time that I experienced it. But I think for like the way that you experience it, it's a lot more like a deeper clinical like experience that you've undergone, where I haven't necessarily, I don't know, have you sought medical treatment? Like, I don't know if you've done like any medication or anything.
In the church, I think there's an idea of, don't take medicine for mental health because it's different. I think that it's very similar to a physical illness, where if you had like a cough, you would take some cough syrup or, like a cough drop or whatever. I think that there's nothing wrong with getting help if you feel like you need it mentally.
Yeah. I totally agree. That kind of segues, like, navigates me a little bit into, like, my next question, which I had for y'all, which I think, Ella, you're so right, is this idea of, how do I want to phrase this? I think it's this idea of, my next question was, how has it been to navigate depression and the conflicting Christian ideals of praying away sadness, or like just the difficulties that come with that of, sometimes people saying like medication isn't what God would want for you, or therapy is not what God would want for you. But like, I personally, and this is my personal belief, I think that like therapy is a gift from God. Like, medications are a gift from God to help us in our journeys and our paths to healing. And so, like, because while prayer is effective, like, sometimes you need to go to therapy. Like, while prayer is effective, sometimes you might need to take a little medication to get you through a really hard season, And so I guess my question is like, what is it like for you to navigate, like, I'm someone who claims to be Christian and also have depression, like, and when I feel like those can be in tension in certain spaces?
I think for me, how I navigated that experience, I think partially it was because I think my experience is different than Ella's, where mine came from a lack of secureness of who I was, especially in middle school. That was, I would say, my first and longest form of experience of depression. And then I would say this last year, there's a couple months that I definitely felt depression. And I think the similarities of between those two is having a lack of purpose in my life and having a lack of just like feeling like I have something to wake up and work towards and appreciate and enjoy. And so kind of like how I think it's really difficult to know how to navigate it, because I don't think you can really provide the answer when you're in depression or even when you get out of depression, because if we had the answers, we would use them right away. We would immediately not be in this experience. Nobody wants to feel that way.
Yeah.
I think I think for me is time. And I think the biggest thing for me was to keep moving forward, and be okay when I take a step back. Try to take 4 steps forward, but not beat myself over when like I can't do something someday. To not beat myself up when I can't do, I don't know, whatever it may be, like can't get up in the morning, like sleep in an extra hour, like to not like, that doesn't mean I didn't already make progress. And so eventually moving forward and feeling like you have momentum, I think that's the best thing that I've tried to implement.
I love that. It feels like this idea of like, I don't know, it's like this weird opportunity, like Michael, just like what you're talking about of like grace and like showing yourself grace and like recognizing like some days are going to be better than others. And like, it doesn't mean I'm a failure if I can't do the same things one day that I was able to do the day before. And like, I don't know why, like that just reminds me a lot of this idea. And this is, I think, just me trying to connect it for people who might not like experience this in their own life, but it's just like the idea of like with anything in our lives, like not shaming ourselves for being where we're at, but extending grace to ourselves, like the same grace that like, I just like think so much of like the Lord's grace, and like God's not mad at you for like struggling with depression. Like God's not mad at you for being wherever it is in your life. Like God is just thankful that you're showing up each day, and he doesn't expect you to be perfect. And I just like, it makes me think, and we don't need to go down this path right now, but it just makes me think, where did we learn along the way that we have to show up a particular way to be loved? Is really what it makes me think about. And I mean, go ahead and go there if you want, but like that just is like where I have my brain right now. I feel like in certain ways, like I feel like I have to show up a certain way to be loved, a certain way to be like worthy, to be valued, to have been successful in a day. And like sometimes it's you woke up and you brush your teeth, and that's a freaking win.
Yeah, no, that really rings true. Something that I have to force myself every day to do is to remind myself of my inherent belovedness, my inherent goodness, and that I am okay the way that I am, and, enough the way that I am. And something that bugs me a lot, as I've often heard in the church before, is, God's not going to give you anything you can't handle, because that implies that God gives you painful, bad things, which I don't think that God does. And secondly, I think that if we could handle everything that we experience, we wouldn't need God. And that's something that is really important for me to hold on to. I know for myself, this is something that I'm going to be fighting every single day of my life. And that's just a fact. And it's something that, because it's an illness for me, and that's okay. That's just where I'm at,
Yeah, that's great. I love that you shared that. Thank you. It reminds me a lot of what McKenna said when we talked about anxiety. If she was like, my anxiety's not going anywhere. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. Like, it's going to be there. And she said, but she's like, as hard as my anxiety is, like, it is a daily reminder for me of my reliance on and dependence on God. Last week, Hannah and McKenna were talking about safe people for them. And, like, I think I want to know, what does, like, a safe person for you look like when it comes to depression? Like, what does it look like for people to show up well for you?
Yeah. I think the people that are closest to me know me very, very, very well and have known me for a long time. And when they can, sometimes I can't verbalize what's going on if I'm getting particularly bad. And sometimes it doesn't always manifest as like sadness or not being able to get out of bed. Sometimes I'm more irritable than other times, or sometimes I'm more sensitive to, and that's another thing. Depression does not show up the same way for different people. Some people tend to be more cranky when it's depression or something like that.
Super helpful.
But yeah, if I feel myself kind of spiraling into these yucky feelings, I know that my friends or my family will force me to get out of bed, like physically pick me up and push me in the shower and turn on the water. Just little things like that, that the people around me that love me know that they're not going anywhere, that they are going to stay with me. They're not mad at me, which is a big thing for me. I get really afraid when people are upset with me, that they are, So I like, people around me are literally lifesavers. And also another thing is just knowing that the people who love me and around me they can't fix everything. And that's really, really hard, especially for my mom, who, I'm her baby and she loves me so much. And it's really hard for her knowing that she can't fix it. But there's knowing that she can be with me in it is huge. And loving me through it is huge.
So I'm just going to repeat back, like, what I hear you saying is, for you, like, the most important thing for you that your people can do is just show up and be present, and also not be afraid to push you to do the hard things, the everyday things that become hard. And I also love what you're saying, too, of this idea of recognizing that they can't do everything and they can't be everything, which is a hard truth, but a real truth. And so that was really helpful. That was really fruitful. Thank you. Micah?
For me, when I get in my moments, I'm actually scared that I'm going to do something that that makes them view me differently, or like makes them think I am upset with them, or I am frustrated with other. Maybe it's a sense of like people pleasing, but like I always sometimes in my experience, I am worried that I will like lash out, or I will say something, or I will be like frustrated. And it's not specifically it's not something that they did. It's just like me, just not in a good mood. And so I think like that's something I worry about. And so sometimes if I do feel like I'm going to experience that, like sometimes I'll just be like, hey, I'm just, a little bit irritable. It's not you. just want to make that clear, my friend that I love very much. It's not you. I'm just like experiencing this thing, and I just want to let you know. And like that's something that I've like told my roommates. More with like some of my experiences with losing a loved one. I can be very irritable sometimes, and I want them to like know it's not them, but it's like something just experience that I'm going through that's like internal. So I think somebody like going back to somebody that's safe for me is someone that I feel confident that if I feel confident that like they can take that, and like if I express that I'm not going through something, that it's not going to necessarily take away from my experience with them. I don't necessarily feel like somebody needs to, for me, like go out of their way necessarily. I just like want them to be there as a friend, and then understand like if like I'm not feeling so hot, that like that's just the way it is, and that doesn't discourage them from like experiencing life with me. I think is kind of like a safe person, and someone that I don't feel like I have to like put up a front, and like someone that I don't feel like I have to change my current experience to be with. And yeah, so I think that's like someone that doesn't feel like what I am is not enough. Like where I'm at and who I am, it's enough for them. And I think that's like makes me feel safe.
And to jump off of that, like people who won't like who will pursue you in addition to when you like showing up. Like when I'm really, really bad, I stop responding to people, and I just stop, talking to people. And so like my friends who will like, hey, Ella, I know you're not feeling good because you're not texting me back, and will like not only show up and not judge you when you're experiencing that, but pursue you when you're feeling crappy, when you're feeling bad and not,
Yeah. Because I think sometimes, like, I mean, obviously everybody's different with how they experience things, but like, I know sometimes for me, I can go, oh, like they're having a really hard time. They probably want space. But like a lot of times, like that's when you need people the most, So that's good. That's helpful. Okay, we're getting near the end of our time here together, but before we close, I just wanted to give you all a chance to just share like any words of wisdom or advice that you have, or like you wish you would have known as like you were in middle school.
For me, there is a really easy line that can like get you out of anything if people ask you like how you're doing. It's just, oh, I'm just tired. And I use that a lot, almost every day. Oh, I'm just tired. I didn't get much sleep last night. And like people just buy it because most of the time, like people, when they ask you like, how are you doing? Like, it's not something that you usually like talk about. So I think you need to have some people that you're honest to. I think your family is probably a pretty good one to like start with, and just like telling them where you're at, and like starting conversation with them of like what's like going on. I think that can be like really helpful. It was sort of a conversation that I had with my family. It's a very hard conversation.
Yeah.
And so I think talking to somebody, and if you have like a friend that you care about and cares about you, it can be helpful to like just like tell them like, hey, this is my experience, and I don't necessarily need you to change or be anything different, but I just wanted to share this aspect of about me with you. And sometimes that can feel releasing to know that this isn't like something that you need to hide. You just gotta like keep going. I don't like push through sounds weird. I don't know if I like that, but like trying to take steps forward and like moving forward progress and forward momentum, I think is like kind of the like attitude I would rather have, like trying to always like push the ball forward. And sometimes the ball is going to roll backwards. And that's okay. But trying to like take, like there's this practice called like no 0 days. Or no none days, I forget what's it called, but it's like doing one thing and telling yourself like you accomplished something, and like knowing like you can accomplish that thing over and over is like really healthy. And then like you can add more things in it. Like as long as like you have that something, just as long, it could just be getting up in the morning, it could be brushing your teeth, whatever it may be, those like little victories. Those are steps forward. So
something that I wish I had a better grasp on when I was younger, and also even today, is just to be so gentle with myself, because I think we're all really hard on ourselves, and especially when you're dealing something like mental illness, like you can just be mean to yourself, mean. And I think being kind, and it's so much easier said than done, but even just like when you notice yourself doing, having little victories, like what Mike said, brushing your teeth, just being like, I'll say to myself, like, Ella, you're brushing your teeth right now. This is huge. Like, good job, babe. Like, keep going, go eat a snack now. Go hydrate, just being your best cheerleader, your biggest cheerleader is a big thing. Especially when it's really hard. And like I said earlier about physical illness, if you have a broken leg, I'm not going to try to hide it and be like, oh, my leg's not broken. Like I can walk fine, because, if you have a broken leg, no, you can't walk fine and you need help. And so just kind of disclosing that is like, I need help today. That's powerful and big if and when you can do that. And I think it's necessary to do it.
That's huge. I love the way you described that, of like, if you had a broken leg, you wouldn't hide that you had a broken leg. It's not like, it's scary to have a broken leg, of like, oh my gosh, I broke my leg, like in that moment. But like, it's normal and it's okay. And just like when we are struggling through our mental health, like it's scary to kind of recognize like, oh my gosh, like I'm going through this thing, but like it's normal and it's okay. And people want to be there for you. Yeah, that's huge. That was such a good way of describing that. I love that. Micah and Ella, thank you so much for sitting in this conversation today with me to be shared with our rock students. Anybody listening to this, like, if you are struggling with mental health, in any way, like, please know that I'm there for you. Your leaders are there for you. We want to support you. We want to love on you well. This is serious, and it's okay. And so allow us to show up for you. Allow us to walk with you through those things. I know the Lord wants to walk with you through those things. I'm excited for us to talk more about this on Wednesday night at Big Rock, and for us to talk in our small groups about it. So we'll see you Wednesday. Bye.